Boom. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got this new light. Still trying to figure out how it works. If it's doing anything. What? But change the color of the shit. Cool, cool. All right. We are into it. We are into it. Yo,
My
man,
guy.
man, I appreciate you showing up. Let's do this, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Sorry, we're a little late. We're still trying to get the whole technical aspect of things going. On the plus side, we look great. So, how are you? How are you doing
Flawless.
today? How was today?
Shit, today was today, bro. Can't wait for tomorrow.
Heard that.
Yeah, man. Just another day, bro. You know what I mean? Just trying to fucking make everything happen on time.
Nah, I get it. I definitely get it. Um, it's tough. Doing what we do and trying to make things happen for the people around us and just trying to make that next dollar. You know what I mean? It's how was the work thing today?
It was all right. I was able to lock something down right before I scooted out of there. And then, had to go home, do the dad thing,
Of course, of course.
and hope we can get everybody asleep before I get over here. Unlike last week, me showing up like 30 minutes late, but you know how that goes.
So apparently we can hear Zach clearly, but not me. Cause does that change things? Does that help? I don't know if that helps. Let me know, please. Cause you know, I gotta know. I gotta know. I gotta know.
That shouldn't really make a difference.
Oh hell yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, man. So you know, Swavsky pulled up a little while ago.
To here?
Yeah, to hear. I grabbed I grabbed some tickets.
Oh,
Um
I gotta grab tickets to that.
I grabbed like 10 tickets for those who might not be able to, afford it that want to go. I had him pull up. We did the little picture thing. He was hella appreciative. He was hella grateful for it. I mean, that's it's dope.
Hmm.
Um, it was nice. So I mean, if you're in the comments, if you're in the views, and Swavsky, what's going down next Saturday, right? I believe it is next Saturday. And you can't afford a ticket, hit them up, man. We got 10 of them, 10 of the tickets that are gonna go to those who can't afford it or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So that was a pretty dope opportunity. I was trying to get him to come on the show, but he didn't have the time for it. Busy,
That's a
busy,
busy man right
busy.
there, man. Shout out my guy Suave, man.
Yes,
Suave
sir.
Mob.
Yes, sir. We're gonna have him on the show at some point. That's the goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so hopefully we can make that happen sooner rather than later. I'm still trying to source a third mic and facilitate ourselves and get us ready and able to have more than one guest. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, hell yeah. What's going on, bro? You look like you got something to talk about.
Actually, kind of have nothing to talk about right now.
Really?
Not like in a good or a bad way. Just kind of
Mhm.
I don't know. It's been one of those days where you kind of can't keep yourself on one thought.
Get it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff going on. Personally, trying to make new arrangements. A lot of big lifestyle changes. I
Absolutely.
recently went through a lot of things that made me take on a lot of extra responsibility.
Hmm.
One of them being, you know, pretty much a single dad at this point, full time
Yeah.
father. Unclear about what the future may hold with that. I know I'm gonna be good with my kids and everything,
Of
but
course.
for anybody who might be able to relate in that situation, it gets to be a lot when you try to get everything figured out. In terms of like living situations, childcare situations, transportation,
Yeah. No.
balancing work and home life, like it
Absolutely.
it gets to be crazy.
Hmm.
So like some nights I kind of find myself, out there,
Mm-hmm.
kind of in the void sometimes.
True. I get that 100%. I mean, I get that way quite often, actually. More times than I care to admit. You know what I mean? As guys, we want to make sure that we're on our shit and we're on top of everything. And sometimes we try so hard and we end up losing track of it all.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's tough. Um, but shout out to you for doing the damn thing, bro, for real. Cause like, those kids are definitely well taken care of. You know what I mean? They're definitely um
And they always will be. You know what I mean? And that's
absolutely
that's never really been in question. Anybody who
nah,
knows me knows that I'm all about my kids. I'll throw anything away in this world for them.
absolutely.
That's part of the reason why I'm at where I'm at right now. Like music was a really big part of my life, but my kids are an even bigger part. So I'm I'm at home with my kids more often than I'm in a studio or sitting down making a beat or anything like that. So I'm working and taking care of the kids, and that's just got to take priority over everything for me right now.
No, absolutely. And we got a good comment here. Kids, remember the good stuff and be patient with yourself and grace. You know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
that's the biggest thing. Understanding that it's almost not even a daily. It's an hour by hour kind of thing. You know what I mean? And you just being there and being present for them is what they're going to remember growing up.
Yeah, and I know they see it that way too. My two youngest, it's a little bit different with them. They're both autistic, one of them being nonverbal. So, it's definitely an adventure, so and
Yeah.
even more so now, so like I just gotta, you know, pay more attention to the fact that they're gonna need a little bit more from me than just the average kid.
Absolutely.
So them not being able to communicate the same way as my oldest son who's 12, Micah, he can communicate with me like a grown ass man, you know what I mean?
Right.
But my youngest, with everything that's going on right now, I have no idea of how it's affecting them other than how they just respond in their activities and their body language and
Right.
their patterns and behaviors and everything. There's not really a verbal communication there, so
Right.
a little bit of extra care and a little bit of just extra reminders from me to them, like that I'm always going to be there, but I got to kind of show that physically and everything.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. I can remember the lack of, that same compassion and same, you know, parent kid relationship.
Hmm.
So like we try our best to like break that cycle and not let stuff like struggling with depression and struggling with anxiety and all that kind of stuff, hold us back from being good parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what's tough too, because somebody like me, sometimes it's hard not to want to isolate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially feeling all the pressure, but sometimes you gotta push through that, as cliche as that sounds. Sometimes I work better under pressure. Sometimes I don't want to anything to do with it. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
No, for sure.
there's a lot more on my plate and a lot more people that rely on me that don't allow me to do that. You know what I mean? I can't just be that guy to kind of be a pussy. You know what I
Right.
mean? But that kind of you know leads us into like our whole topic of men's mental health, because we get so caught up in that sometimes where we
Hmm.
we don't leave ourselves enough time for self-care, basic routines, and even just basic acknowledgement of like, all right, I accomplished these things, like I don't need to be so hard on myself or anything
Right.
like that. You kind of just get stuck in that hamster wheel, and you
Hmm.
don't have no other time for anything else. It seems you probably do have that time, but you're so consumed by everything else.
Right. Right. It's trying to prioritize it and organize things in your head. And by the time you have everything organized, well, guess what? It's time for you to go to bed and redo this and repeat this tomorrow. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, it's really easy to get lost in how like discombobulated you feel in the head. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
And for I don't know, the mental health boom, if you will, has really been focused on, and no offense, but it's really been focused on women and making sure that they understand that they're heard and understood that they're felt and we get what they're saying, and we spent so much time prioritizing that us as men got left in the just left in the background, you know what I mean? Like, and it's it's tough, and I mean, that's why I'm here. That's why we want to do this, because I just in the last week, man, one of a friend's husband killed himself. Like, that was heavy to deal with, especially right after Gerard services and all that kind of stuff. Like, it was a heavy week. You know what I mean? And my prayers went out to them, because like that's tough. And they also have a child. I believe they have a child who is autistic as well.
Mhm.
And you know what I mean? That kind of stuff just doesn't bode well for him and kids like that. You know what I mean? So, and it's tough. Like, I feel like maybe, I don't know, I don't want to assume, but like, if people that are struggling like that can come across something like this, where they can, hop in the comments or just even read the comments and just listen to what we talk about,
Mhm.
they might rethink, you know what I mean? We'd be able to make strides and just get out there and let people know that it's okay, that, you need to be heard. If you need to be heard, I'm gonna listen to you,
Mhm.
straight up. And that's just the way that goes. Could you possibly get an assistive communication device? My student has been provided by school district. Can be a great tool to help with that. Parenting kids on and off the spectrum could be rough. Finding community to assist with the process and outreach.
So that's interesting, because we do have a speech device for him. He uses his tablet, which has all different types of um, ways to use words, commands, or requests, anything of that nature. And we also have flashcards and
Right.
everything like that. And it works well, in certain moments. And then, in other moments when he's, really overstimulated, or it's been a really rough day, his first thought, because he's 4. So his first thought isn't gonna be,
Right.
let me go grab these cards, or let me go grab this iPad and show my dad how I'm feeling, so like
Right.
it's not all there for him yet. But that is something that we do practice, or we at least try, and he does really well in school with it. One
That's
thing
good.
that we do try to focus more on, though, is the cards, just because the tablet, there's a lot for him to get distracted by. And
Oh, absolutely.
his type of personality is like, he'll get so attached to one specific thing, even on something like his speech device. Like, he'll like the sound of one word that it says, and
Yeah.
that's the only word he says for 30 minutes. So like,
Right. Right.
so like it works. And then sometimes, when it would actually like be really important for him to communicate, it's not always going to be there, or his
Right.
first thought to use it.
Right. It's more of a reactive situation rather
Yeah.
than and it's to be expected with somebody of his age. You know what I mean? It's not
Mhm.
like, but the fact that he's starting it now, and he's starting it early, will only benefit him and you, and you guys as a unit, down the road, which is super, super awesome. Work on signs for emotion.
Yes. And yeah, so he does attend speech and occupational therapy. Some of it he gets in school, and then some of it he gets, through a program after school. And there we do try to work on hand signals. And it's same thing with the iPad. It's he there's so much energy in him, and there's
Mhm.
so much overstimulation, to where like he even gets stimulated by seeing his fingers move a certain way. So like,
Right.
so he could be trying to make a hand signal, and all of a sudden find it very entertaining and very stimulating.
Right.
So like, it's the same result. It works and it doesn't. And I know that can change over time. It's all about consistency and all of those things. So over time, as the years go on, like, it'll start to click, to where like, as I start responding to more of his hand signals, his gestures, or his requests, or anything like that, he'll start to realize that this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm getting out of it. It's just still very early on, I feel like.
And it's definitely tough. You know what I mean? But doing all of these things and starting all of these things as early as you guys have been doing and staying on top of it, because I know that you've been staying on top of all that
Hmm.
stuff.
We try, you know, but like with even with my situation right now, like my only time to be doing it with him one on one is in the mornings and after work, you
Right.
know, like and I'm working like all the time, so
Yeah.
you know that a lot of that interaction he's getting with his teachers, which is great. His teachers are amazing, and it's just like I'm very limited with how much of that interaction that I get.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's tough. I mean, you're in sales, so like that's a grueling schedule.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
not out of work at a, normal
I mean,
time.
yeah, my day off could very easily not be a day off,
Right.
you know.
Absolutely. No, yeah. And you get called into work last second, you got a deal that needs to go. And it's,
Hmm.
you need to be available at a moment's notice.
A lot of times, yeah. I mean, as long as it's during business hours, if I want the money, I could turn it down. But what's that going to do for me in the future?
Right.
If I build a reputation of not being reliable, especially yeah, in sales and anything that's commission based, you know what I mean? Like it's all about what you put into it. So like that's where that work and home life balance becomes like really an issue sometimes. Not an issue, but it becomes a very large task
Right. Right.
sometimes.
Absolutely. And it's daunting, and stuff like that could easily send, you know, even the toughest of guys into like a downward spiral.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I've watched it happen. I've watched people collapse just because they can't handle the pressure. You know what I mean? They they don't know how to cope with it, and they don't know how
Hmm.
to reach out to somebody, anybody that can listen and will listen, and give them constructive criticism and that feedback that they need, in order to find the strength to keep going, because that's where a lot of people fail. Is they feel like they have no support, and they feel like they can't talk about what they've got going on because, in fear of getting judged, or it's really just judged and seen as less than or weak. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's tough. It's tough to watch, like watching him lose his battle, the other week. And it's just not, it's not cool to, we just perpetuate this negative stigma about talking about what's going on with your mental state and what's going on with your head. And it's, I don't know, I just, all I want to do is help change one person's life. You know what I mean? That's it. you know Excuse me, I gotta get my hydration in. Good gravy. Oh, but outside of that, how's the mental health? How are you doing mentally? Like, what ways are you finding to, get outlets every now and again? You know what I mean?
So it's been a big switch, but it's still your mental health and whatever you do to maintain that is always going to be a commitment. So I mean, even with this huge lifestyle change, like I don't go to the gym and do my routines in the morning now. Now it's at night.
Mm.
You know.
And the gym is a good point.
Mhm.
It's a good point to talk about real quick.
That's that's been one of my biggest things.
Yeah.
Like not only on the side of things where like yeah, I see myself like physically a lot more positively because of where I came from,
Right.
but also just because of that routine, that thing that I do every single day that makes me hyper focus on something.
Mm.
And that type of hyper focus for that amount of time, nothing else in the world exists.
Right.
And that's something that helps me out a lot. And that's the same thing that music does for me. Like
Absolutely.
not when I'm listening to it, but when I'm making it.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what
No,
I
you
mean?
could just get lost in the process, and you just
Mhm.
enjoy with what's right in front of you rather than what's,
Right. And
compiling up in your head.
that and it's the one of the things that was said to me a long time ago about exercise or about lifting weights that always kind of kept me in a positive direction is that it's one of the only things that you can put yourself through physical pain and get a positive result from.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
intentionally, like you're intentionally putting yourself through pain
Yeah.
and gaining something positive out of
Yep.
it. And
Tearing
and
down
you're
muscle.
you're seeing the result like right in front of you.
Yep.
So like it's something very motivating for me when somebody said that to me. So that's always something that I'm thinking about, and that's like mentally that's like a very strong thing in the back of my mind that
Oh, absolutely.
you know.
and finding that routine can help balance, you know, what everything that you're going through mentally, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You get yourself a routine, and I'm a firm believer that your mental health is connected directly to your physical health.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it can get a little bit obsessive sometimes though, you know what I mean? Especially if you're like, really beating yourself up about certain things, if you're lacking the confidence, or maybe you didn't accomplish a certain goal, so you're kind of just like taking it out on yourself, or
Right.
you're not satisfied with the result, and you just start to obsess over it, and then it can kind of have like negative, you know outcomes, just like anything positive that you can do. If you obsess over it, or you overdo it, you're
Right.
only going to harm yourself in the end. So like it just goes with the whole like balance thing. Everything in your life, you need balance.
Right. Absolutely. You know, and I'm trying to get back into the gym and doing that, but like, you know, just maintaining that physical health to help balance out the mental health and help me, you know, and you work out any steam that needs to be worked out at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like you can, you know, go hit the gym, go put yourself through that workout, and then, you know, you go home and you feel good, you feel, you know, like you've gotten everything out, you know, as much as you can anyways.
Yeah, and actually for the longest time, I always preferred working out in the morning. I always thought it was like a better way to start the day, and in a lot of ways it is. Like you
Yeah.
start your day off with something like very focused and very structured, and that's great. But something that I've been liking a lot is that, at the end of a day, even if it's a really shitty day, going into the gym and kind of just erasing the world for that hour and a half or whatever,
Yep.
my sleep's been amazing. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Versus
bet.
versus like I go to the gym 5 o'clock in the morning, have a great fucking awesome workout, but then I go to work and have a fucked up day, and I go home all fucking pissed off. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's just so like it could go either way. But lately, I like working out at night is a really good way to finish off the day. And then you go home, you hit that hot shower. You know what I
Oh
mean? You just
yeah. Yep.
spark one up if you do. Smoke them if you got them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then you start your shutdown routine. You know what I mean? You
Hmm.
you give yourself that little bit of quiet time, lower the lights, let your brain kind of shut itself off before you kind of crawl into bed.
Right. Absolutely. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that as well. You know what I mean? I'm pretty awful about, you know, the actual shutdown process, if you will, because, you know, I need background noise. So like I'm constantly like
Hmm.
stimulated by like TV and sound and shit. But like
Yeah. So I bought a noise machine for that.
really,
Yeah.
how has it
It's
been
just
has
it's,
it been working in like
it's just
lieu of a
it's just white
TV?
noise. Before that, I would just keep a fan on.
Okay.
You know what I
All
mean?
right.
Anything that just creates a sound. But I don't even have a TV in my room.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Nope.
Yeah, that's going to be a very hard, very difficult habit for me to break. But you know, I mean, I'm working on them one at a time, you know,
Mhm.
as I can. But yeah, I mean, it's just the shit's so crucial, man. You know, just taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. It's so crucial, especially when you're getting into these times where like that financial pressure is put on you for like Christmas and Thanksgiving, because you know food ain't cheap. This nothing's cheap anymore. You know what I mean? It,
Mm-mm.
it I feel like every time you step out of that house, it costs you $100.
Yeah.
At least. I can't leave the house without spending $100. And that's, I mean, that whether it be groceries or gas or hell, you know, I need to pick up something for the show. Boom, easy $100,
Hmm.
easily. And it's crazy. And then we put all this pressure on ourselves, and then we have everybody dying, bro. We need to can't have any more people die, bro. It's nuts. I want to look up the statistic of men that I don't know why I went to Google. Google was my homepage. How many men 39,000 men die by suicide per year on average. That's a fucking staggering number. That's almost 40,000 people that feel like they can't cope and they can't deal with what they're going on or what they got going on or talk to somebody that just feel like that's the route. That's the way out. You know what I mean? And it's sad. It's really sad, dude. It's crazy. I don't got too many viewers up, but hey, man, it is what it is.
We can keep it going, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, doesn't matter if it's one person or 100 people. I say that every show we've ever done, all these local shows that we've ever done, that's why me and Fetty have built the reputation that we've had, because our performances have always been the same. So like we've showed up to performances where it might be 5 people that actually showed up, and those 5 people were the other performers. You know what I mean?
Right.
We still give them what we came to give them.
Right. Absolutely. You know I mean, I've been there.
Even if there's 2 people viewing right now, you know, these 2 people could really need to hear it.
Right. Absolutely.
You know? Or I might really need to say what I need to say, and might need to say it to those 2 people, whoever those 2 people are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because I'm getting it off my chest. So like it doesn't matter how many people are viewing. We're always going to keep it going.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And you know, we put everything that we have into this, you know what I mean? And make sure that we show up every week. And I know it's only week 2, but like, you know, making sure that we stay doing what we do to help the people that need it. And like, I don't know about you, but the amount of people that have reached out to me just from the last episode.
Yeah, actually.
Staggering number. You know, between like people that are grateful that we're doing it, or somebody that, you know, hit me up, saw the podcast or saw the show and realized that, you know, they might not be coping. Like I had a good buddy of mine reach out to me, you know, that I've known forever. And he's like, yo, I really appreciate what you're doing. You know, he was talking to me about some things he's got going on. And, you know, the only thing I can do is offer a little bit of perspective, you know what I mean? And maybe just change a little bit of that perspective and how he views what he's going through. And, you know, he hit me up the other day and was like, you know, I thought about what you said and I really appreciate it. I'm trying to change the way I'm thinking of it. He said he was going to tune in. So like, it's really nice. And it's a good feeling to know that there are other people that, while they may not announce it publicly or they may not talk about it publicly, they're glad we're doing this. You know what I mean? And I'm glad we're doing this. Everybody that we talk to is like, this is a phenomenal idea. So like, we're going to ride this shit until the wheels fall off. And then we're going to put new wheels on it.
I don't know me. I don't even change wheels, bro. I let them busted ass fucking wheels roll, bro.
I mean, that's all you can do. That's it, man. You know, we don't have an option, and we just don't have the option. We can't.
That's why I had to buy a new car, because I just fucking drove that shit until it literally exploded on me.
Yeah, no kidding. Shout out to the Audi.
That's that life shit, bro. That's, you know what I mean? Sometimes, like, as capable as I am of fixing almost anything on my cars, with, you know, a busy schedule, you're low on funds, you got kids to take care of. Sometimes you're pushing that limit to its very last little fucking dick hair. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, like, dude.
Yeah, man, it's be like that sometimes. And it was when I actually had to leave work, go and pick up my son from school and bring him home, and it happened trying to get back to work. It was his last one. It was overheating, cooling down the entire way. And it was that one day got stuck in traffic. And
I actually remember that day. I remember you hit me up and was like, yo,
that was the last trip in that fucking car.
Nah, but now you got the Superman dad mobile. That shit is crazy.
My son loves it.
I bet he does.
My son loves it, man. He couldn't stop staring out of the roof. So he loves the car, and I like not having to fix something every week. So
these kids love sunroofs, bro. Right now I'm in a right now I'm in an I-4, and the kids, can you open the top roof? Can you open the top window? And I'm like, it is 45 degrees outside. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Now my my son is he loves the sky. So like even in his bedroom, we have a projector that projects like stars and
Oh, that's
moon and
awesome.
stuff on the ceiling and stuff. So he likes stuff like that. So the first time I put him in it, that was the only thing he did. He just stared.
Yeah, I wish they had that kind of stuff when we were kids. You know what I mean? We had those little stick-on stuff that needed to be activated by light. Remember those?
Uh-huh.
Yep, had them all over my ceiling, and then they would fall down and hit you in the eye while you were sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, leaving all this sticky shit on the fucking ceiling. We had popcorn ceilings back in my old apartment. Some things never came off. It was just spots all over.
You move into an apartment and you see a landlord just painted over a whole bunch of them. Just painted through the ceiling.
The old landlord special.
Yeah, I can't front, man. I've been guilty of a few of those jobs. Every once in a while, property owners like, I don't care what it looks like. Here's the money. I have them moving in tomorrow. Put paint on everything.
Say less. You got it.
All right.
You got it.
Gotcha.
I just need to see the money first.
Yeah, I gotta see the money, and I gotta make sure my name is not on any paper.
Yo, write NDAs. I need an NDA right now. You're not putting my name on this bunk ass work. Oh, something fell upstairs. I might have been a cup. We got the kid. We got what is it? So we got Tatum, Layla, Autumn, Bree. We got 5 children and 2 adults upstairs watching a movie so we could do this show. That's dedication. That's dedication. Shout out to them, shout out to the women. Shout out to the wives, dude, for real. So we can get up here and do what we do for the people. Because we are for the people. We're for the men. You know what I mean? We're here for the fellas. We're here for everybody ultimately, but you know, as it says in the name, it's the mental health podcast. So like, that's just what we do. Damn, yo, you can see that my camera kicked off a little bit, so I can see like a C hair right there. You know what I mean? And it's pissing me off. It's really bothering me, actually. God, I gotta do better. But hey, we're doing this in my kitchen, so
yeah, man.
Doesn't even look like a kitchen right now. Taylor, shout out to my sister, bro. She's like my ride or die, has been there for everything. Me and her go back to like 6th grade. I think I was a year older than her, like school grade wise. And man, she used to get bullied all the time, and I was like, nah, dude, like she's good people. And then we ended up being like best friends. My mom, you know, did the things that my mom did, and you know, that was my reprise because she lived 15 minutes walking. She lived 15 minutes walking from my house. So anytime I was in the doghouse or had the shit hit the fan, that's where I went, man. So shout out to my sister. I appreciate you showing up and showing out. Always. If I need anything ever, she's the first person I call. But then when people die, I'm the first person she calls. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Not too much on me being bullied. Listen, everybody was bullied. That's why we were all in this little lump of a fucking awkward ass friend group. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That was me. I was like, damn, you know, I wish I was popular. And then I was like, nah, it's cool. My friends are pretty cool. You know what I mean? They're pretty dope. So it was nice.
It's wild because like, you know, I went to a bunch of different schools. So at some schools I got a little taste of the popularity. Mm-hmm. That shit was annoying. And then at other schools I got a taste of being the fucking kid everybody wanted to stay away from because I was a fucking drug dealer, smelled like weed and cigarettes all the time. Mm-hmm. And then there was the other school that I'll go to, and I'm the bad influence. I'm getting other kids to do graffiti and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So like, it got a little taste of everything, bro. It all sucks, man. Eventually you find the friend group that it doesn't really matter who they know or who you know. You know what I mean? Like I'm in a friend group now to where like in high school, some of them could have been the most popular kid in school, and my other friend might have been the biggest fucking nerd. You know what I mean? But
absolutely,
you're good people at the end of the day.
Yep.
You know, I always try to keep it like that. So I've been lucky enough to meet a pretty solid friend group over the years, but it's been a select few that's actually
absolutely, yeah,
for sure down, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I mean, So I spent most of my life in Middletown. Um, you know what I mean? So like I have my friend group from there, and then I have the friend group that I built from when I moved out this way. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I mean, hell, my best friend was just here fucking 4 hours ago making pizza in my kitchen. And
Mhm.
you can't, I mean, you can't even tell because we, you know, what I mean, cleaned it up, but made fucking 4 big ass pizzas, some garlic knots, homemade shit. And maybe we do this kind of stuff all the time. And I'm like so beyond grateful for that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Especially considering when I first moved out this way, I had nobody besides the person that I was currently with at the time. You know what I mean? I didn't have friends, and any of my friends were all her friends. So it was like, it was a really weird dynamic. But like, you know, I found people that I connected with, and like, dude, if it honestly, if it wasn't for them, I feel like I wouldn't have the strength to get up here and do what we do. You know what I mean? And it's our friend group that keep us going.
Mhm.
Honestly, and it's something that I'm super super grateful for and thankful for. And that's not just because Thanksgiving is next week. This week, shit. This week, fuck.
Couple days, bro.
Yeah. See, I think to me in my head, Thanksgiving has already passed because like um we did our Friendsgiving on Saturday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we had everything everything going, and to me that was Thanksgiving, and I completely forgot that like it's in 3 days. And I got no plans. No plans. I don't plan on doing nothing except sitting my fat ass right on that couch right there and watching some football. That's all I got going on. I promise you. I might make a lasagna or something, but that's about it. You know, I'm not going to go through all of that nonsense. We cooked a Dog, I cooked a 10-pound ham, okay, and I thought it was gonna take 2, 3 hours at most. That bitch sitting there for, like, almost 6 hours, bro. Get everything done. Everything is all out and spread out. He had a big-ass 24-pound turkey sitting on the counter, you know, draining, being cut up, and I'm still waiting on the fucking ham. That was good-ass ham, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I made my own glaze because, like, you know, I cook too, you know? And, that shit was busting. My mac and cheese, I had like 20 pounds of macaroni and cheese, bro. It was a lot of fucking mac and cheese, dog. I used 4 pounds of pasta, but I thought like it was like 20 people here. You know what I mean? So like I just used a shitload of pasta and a shitload of cheese, and you know what I mean? Got it together.
Mm.
Busting.
Mm.
Tried sweet potato for the first time too.
You never tried sweet potatoes?
No.
The fuck, man?
I ain't gonna hold you. No, I've never tried sweet potato.
Yeah, that's
And it
my
was
shit, bro.
And it was like one of those sweet potato casseroles, which I've made time and time and time again, but I don't eat it. So I make it for other people to eat it because I don't. But I was strong armed into trying it. And bro,
Dude,
what the fuck was I missing? That shit was so good, bro. So good.
Sweet potatoes are superior, bro.
I know. And I tried provolone for the first time today.
Yeah.
Only because Jersey Mike's fucked my sandwich up.
So you ain't never had sweet potatoes or provolone cheese, my guy?
No.
Yo, grown ass man.
Listen,
I mean,
it was
sweet potatoes, whatever. Provolone cheese, my guy. How many grinders you ate in your whole fucking 30-something years of living? You ain't
a
never
lot
had
of them, and every single one of them had American cheese on it.
the worst cheese, bro. The worst cheese.
It's so bad.
So you mean to tell me that if you've ever gotten like an Italian grinder,
American cheese.
American cheese,
American. Or no cheese at all.
what the fuck, bro?
Listen, where I come from, it was American cheese or nothing. My parents, like, we were broke, so it was like the American craft slices that the government gave us. You know
Bro,
what I mean?
I get it, bro. I know what cheese roll-ups is, bro. Like I made plenty
Cheese
of them in my
roll-ups.
lifetime, man, but that don't mean that American cheese goes on an Italian grinder, bro.
I know it doesn't, and it's I definitely fucked up, okay, but there's no going back. All I could do is learn from it and move forward. But I will say the provolone did not taste anything like I thought it was gonna.
No,
It's
probably
like
pretty good, right?
it was when it was on a turkey grinder, and I was
Yeah.
like, yo, this
Yeah.
this shit's actually
It's fine.
Yeah, it's good. And I was like, damn, bro.
But I be eating mad of them fucking mozzarella cheese sticks, string cheese.
Those are my
I eat
favorite.
them shits like all the time, bro. I fucking stay eating that shit.
American cheese on an English muffin pizza. Yup. I put American cheese on everything. Everything that had cheese on it got American cheese slices. Yep. That was my MO. And I was like, damn, I'm like, there's a whole line behind me. The dude already cut the cheese and he looked pissed as fuck. And I was like, all right, so I got two choices. I can either make his day worse. It's like 12 o'clock. This dude's looked like his whole day was ruined already. And I was either we can remake it or have slice the American cheese, or I just suck it up. Obviously, I chose the latter. But yeah, I looked at it for a second. I tried a little bit, tried a little piece of it. And before I decided to listen, I gotta make sure that it's like it's good. So I was always under the impression that provolone was like one of them stinky cheeses. You know what I mean? Like a Gruyere, like a Gouda, you know what I mean? Something like that. So like I always under that impression that it's like nasty. And so I had to take like the tiniest little fingernail bite. That's kind of good. So I took a little bit of a bit. This was like a 4-step process. I took like a bigger bite.
No.
Yeah, it's so bad, dude. I'm like, it's the worst. And you know, so it took a bit of a bigger bite, and I was like, all right. And then I proceeded to like eat the rest of the sandwich. But yeah, 32 years old. First time trying provolone. Damn. Shout out to the makers of provolone, I guess.
Yo.
Crazy. It helped. It was great. I was in the mood for a turkey sub with American cheese, not provolone. So that took a minute to like, kind of adjust. I guess
turkey and provolone is fire though.
It was great. It was phenomenal. I don't know what I was missing. At first, I thought I was missing the American cheese, but it turns out he gave me a much better option.
American cheese is so bad for you.
I know.
It's literally the worst cheese to eat.
It's so bad, dude. It's gross. If it's not fresh, it is nasty, smelling like feet the second day. See, I think that's what it was. Somebody at some point in my life had bought provolone, and I think it went bad. And when it went bad is when I discovered that it was in my refrigerator. And that's what I associated with provolone. I always thought it was like just bad aura. Just bad juju. It was not good. I feel so embarrassed talking about this, but like what whatever, man.
Shit.
Sweet potatoes and provolone.
Happens to the best of us.
Apparently so, dude. Fuck, man. I was like so thrown off. I was really, really mad about the fact that it was on my sandwich to begin with, though. I'm not gonna hold you. You tried provolone for the first. Yes, I did try provolone for the first time. The shit was great. Yo, what up? What up?
Yo, Los Fidel, what's up, my guy?
Welcome, big dog. It's it's actually pretty dope that he pulled up. My guy's been out here doing a lot. I mean, he's also been getting a lot of hate, but like we don't talk about that.
Nah, I see what he's been doing though.
He's
shout outs to him, man.
Yeah, dude, the Mimi project, which was for the 11-year-old girl that was murdered in New Britain. What he's doing with that and what he's doing there is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. He's also, I'm pretty sure somebody donated like 100 turkeys to him, and he's passing out like 100 turkeys in the area. Dude,
yeah, he's amazing.
He's doing great, man. So like, shout out to him. I definitely appreciate him coming through and throwing a comment there. I did live under a rock, and now I am found. Okay. I once was lost, and now I'm found. Provolone. Shout out provolone. Los, we definitely appreciate you for sure. Me and him have been talking a lot lately, just about networking and getting together. I mean, I see what he does on Facebook, and he puts it all out there for everybody to see. You know what I mean? He doesn't And he takes his licks too. I don't know if you like go through the comment sections on some of these posts, but he takes his licks and like it doesn't stop him, which it would stop a lot of people, the amount of shit that people say about him. You know, and shout out to him because he just keeps fucking doing it and he's making a difference out here. You know what I mean? He's helping spearhead one of the Mimi project and just making sure that the kids are taken care of and he's a good dad as well. You know what I mean? I see what he does with his kids. He gives his kids everything that he can, you know what I mean? And while dealing with a lot. So we definitely appreciate you, just as a dad, on a dad standpoint, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Definitely shout out to him. He probably don't even remember this, man. I met him years ago, man. He was rap. I don't even know if he's still rapping. I definitely want to hear some new material, bro, because
nasty.
He's nice, man. I remember back in the day, I think we met on the Grind Mode Cypher.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yep.
He was he did a little online beef with this one dude a few months back, and I promise you, bro, this shit was hilarious. Just making diss records and like pulling them out in 12 to 18 hours and just posting them up. The shit was crazy. But yeah, he's definitely still rapping. He posts a few videos every now and again, and dude's nice.
Yeah, man.
Dude's nice. Punchlines are crazy for real. But definitely shout out to Los for sliding through. Definitely want to have him. I'd love to have him up here because I think he could offer a very interesting perspective.
Oh, I would love to hear it.
And I would love to like, actually, come up with some questions and like really get into the nitty gritty with this dude. Cause like big pause. But like, I think he has a lot to talk about and a lot to offer. This platform might not be as big as some of the ones that he's been on, but like, I would just love to sit here and have an actual conversation with dude. To really to help us, get to know him as a person, but he might be able to offer something, the perspective for everybody else that kind of is just throwing dirt and slander on his name. You know what I mean? I think it'd be a good place to just talk about it because I know he suffers from some mental health stuff and we see like I said, we see the posts. He's not shy about it. He's very vocal about it, and
which is great. It's great to be open about this type of shit, and it's also great to be receptive because just like you said, he takes a beating in his comments, but he
absolutely
he still stands tall on his shit. So that's a guy who knows how to take shit constructively, and he also knows how to weed out the bullshit. You know what I mean? So that's definitely somebody I would be interested to hearing some perspective.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's wild. Sometimes I have to take the back seat because like, the comments are crazy, but I'll shoot him a message and be like, hey, yo, listen, like, I appreciate what you do. And, I mean, I've always kept it a buck with him. He's a good dude. He's never done me wrong. And that's my biggest thing is like, I don't judge based off of what, all the comments there or the whatever the majority feeling is I'll judge based on how he treats me just as a person, you know what I mean? And he's never done me wrong. So shit, it's definitely dope. Huge to have him come through. Drum roll, please. I gotta burn something after this for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm gonna hit the gym after all this.
Shit,
I got a day off tomorrow, but
what's the gym routine look like? What's that look like during the week?
It's been a little mixed up lately, honestly. Some nights I'm just too tired. I've been trying to listen to my body a little bit more. If I'm tired, I'm tired,
Yeah, no, you
but
push yourself, get hurt.
I try to keep it consistent and try to in terms of like how I'm working out. Like obviously going there consistently is one thing, but I try to keep like my
my routine consistent. Like if I go in and hit chest one night, I'm gonna remember that I hit chest that night. And the next
Right.
time I go in, I'm gonna put my focus into something else, and I'm gonna try to keep that going. But at the same time, if I can't get there for 3 days because my schedule gets all fucked up and everything, it
Right.
kind of just throws it all off, and I kind of just have to wing it. So like I might end up in the middle of the week doing a whole body exercise,
Right.
doing some like high intensity, like no rest, just get through like my whole body real quick,
Right.
with
Right.
whatever time I got, and then go. But I mean, it's really right now. It's just about getting there. And
Okay.
when I get there, it really depends on what part of my body is sore or not. Like, that's pretty
absolutely.
much where I'm at right now. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's kind of like,
As long as you're in there, man, you know what I mean?
but it's yeah, as long as you're in there. But if your muscles ain't sore, then you gotta make them sore, and then the next day you do that again with the muscles that aren't sore. So like it,
Right.
as long as you're doing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right now it's a little bit out of whack. I'm just trying to find the time to get there at nighttime. Spend about 3-4 times a week.
Which is, I think, a healthy amount to frequent the gym.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, that's preferable. That gives you enough time to rest and recover and everything like that. But before I was going 6 days a week before, steady.
Yeah.
But that gets to be a lot. Even working in construction, thinking back on it now, because I'm getting slightly better. I wouldn't even say better results, but I'm getting more consistent results,
Right.
because of the way that I can rest and recover now versus like working in construction or home remodeling, where I'm like doing physical labor all day long and working out 6 days a week and taking care of my kids
Yeah.
and doing all this shit. Like honestly, it was hard to keep up with the eating at that point because of
Yeah.
how much I'm burning all day long.
Oh, absolutely. You
You
got to
know,
have a
it's-
high calorie diet when you're doing that kind of
Very,
stuff.
very high calorie. And so, I mean, I'm with boots on, I'm 5'6", bro. So like, I don't,
Right.
my normal size, I don't require a lot of calories.
Right. But
And-
when you're out here doing what you were doing,
Right. And if I'm expecting to gain muscle while doing all of that, that means I have to eat a fuck ton of food. And
Yeah.
like, I don't have that kind of time to eat that much fucking food, bro.
nah, I get it. It's I used to be a gym rat. Back when I played sports, though. I mean, I was in the gym 6-7 days a week, sometimes. And at my earliest, I wouldn't leave there anything, earlier than like 2 hours. You know what I mean? I used to.
Oh yeah, and I was terrible, bro. Like I would follow the fucking bro splits. You
Yep.
know what I mean? I would be like on top of my shit. I would count my calories. I would fucking be in there no less than fucking 2 hours a session, 6 days a fucking week. Like,
Right.
going absolutely fucking ape shit all the fucking time. And it does more harm than good if you take that too far.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean you burn yourself out and then you start tearing things and because I mean if you're burnt out and exhausted, you're not doing things to 100% and you're trying to and you think you are, but like in the reality you're doing things half-assed, you're cutting corners, and then next thing you know you got a torn rotator cuff because you thought you were fucking Superman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You thought you were Clark Kent, so now you're out here, doing deadlifts when you should be fucking putting yourself to bed.
Which,
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong, go pick up heavy shit, pick up some heavy ass shit, but don't be stupid about it, man. Like, I was definitely stupid about it for a while, and I probably could have not only gained muscle a lot faster
Yep.
by changing what I was doing, but also like my joints, you know what I mean, my the amount of stress I was putting on it that probably didn't need to get put on it.
Absolutely.
I probably could have given my muscles the same amount of stimulation with much less movement and much less load on the joints.
Right. Absolutely.
Like it's just it was crazy, but that was me being obsessive over trying to be perfect with my routine and me being too hard on myself because I was expecting a certain result within a certain time, and
Right.
if I didn't get this result, then I'm a failure. And you know what I mean? And it kind of just puts you into that spiral of not wanting to fail.
That's a good topic. That's good because that's huge with a lot of people.
Fear of failure is like one of the biggest things in men, it seems.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the amount of times that I was that I had even with the photography, when I contemplated even pursuing it even remotely professionally, I was so afraid of failing that I almost never started to do it in the first, to get back into it, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? And that's a huge hurdle to overcome, is that fear of failing yourself, failing everybody around you. And
Mhm.
you know what I mean? It's a huge
When I
inhibitor.
when I was going to therapy,
Mhm.
the simplest thing that ever got said to me was that if you haven't truly failed yet, then why are you expecting yourself to?
Right. Right. It's a mental block that we put up for against
It's
ourselves.
simple as fuck. That's simple
Mhm.
words,
Yeah,
but
dude.
it's true. Like you haven't failed. Like yeah, you may not have accomplished certain things the way you wanted to, but you're not dead. You're not in jail. Your family doesn't hate you.
Right.
You know what I mean. Like you haven't failed
Right.
yet. You know what I mean. Like there's a lot of things that would have to happen in order for you to truly fail.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right.
So it's a lot of unnecessary pressure that we put on ourselves.
Mhm. Yep, which creates and you know manifests negative actions and negative reactions to certain situations. And
And I tend to get impulsive when I start feeling like that,
yep.
or sometimes I isolate, or you know what I mean. Like a lot of things can happen that like you would like to think that you're in control of, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes these things just start fucking happening because you're just in that spiral.
Mhm. And you create these situations that you can't get yourself out of. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? All because of a pressure that was never there to begin with. It's tough. But the more we talk about it, the more we normalize it, the more we, reassure that that fear of failure is literally put there by yourself, as a safeguard, if you will.
Mm.
You know what I mean? As a catch-all or whatever, to prevent you from failing. It's tough, but we're at about an hour, man. It's about time to wrap this up here. Um, so I definitely appreciate you coming out once again. We're gonna try to organize a guest maybe next week. Hopefully have another mic to use. But yeah, if you're interested in becoming if you're interested in being on the show, you want to be a guest, we can have you in virtually. We can put you up on the screen. You can come sit right in between me and Zach. You know what I mean? You can come tell your story, and we're all gonna listen.
Hmm.
So, but again, once again, I'm Troy. We
I'm
got
Zach.
yes, sir, and this is the Mental Health Podcast. Do us all a favor, go share the lives, go share the YouTube. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. YouTube.com at the Mental Health Podcast official. As always, we really appreciate you guys showing up, showing out, and we will catch you next week. You know what I mean? Just stay strong in the meantime.